Today on Comm Talk, we're talking about Nemo the Lad.
Rogue signal intercepted. Signal designation. Bees, views, and reviews. Signal host. Branson Boykin. Initiating Comm Talk.
Hey guys, welcome to Bees, Views, and Reviews, the podcast that promotes faith-based, family-friendly comics and the creators that make them. Brought to you by Geek Devotions, a show by devoted geeks devoted to letting you know that you are loved. I'm B, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Jules Verne-inspired adventure comic, Nemo the Lad. Now, Nemo the Lad is an anthology of stories detailing the exciting and often hilarious adventures of boy genius and inventor Nemo and his wisecracking older sister, Anna. The comical duo set out for adventure on the high seas in a ship called the Cephalopod. The Cephalopod is a machine of Nemo's own making that can travel land, sea, and when the conditions are right, even the air. Nemo the Lad is a fun journey into the world of Jules Verne. And it's a genre that I'm really a fan of. For those of you who are fans of the steampunk genre, of that Victorian science fiction, Jules Verne, along with the likes of H.G. Wells and Mary Shelley, kind of created that genre without even realizing it. A lot of people call them the fathers and parents of science fiction as we know it now. But they're kind of the creators of that. And Jules Verne had two main stories that a lot of people know about, is 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea and Journey to the Center of the Earth. And Nemo the Lad very much follows that 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea feel. We have this kid named Nemo who's in this submarine ship with his sister, and they're going on all these wonderful, fantastic adventures. And it's really a lot of fun. It really brought me back to my childhood. Whenever I was a kid, if my nose wasn't stuck in a Spider-Man comic, then I was reading either Sherlock Holmes or something by Jules Verne. And so it was really fun to go back into that world and to experience that. The technology that Nemo uses, it's steam powered. It's a lot of gears and levers and things. It's not spacey Star Trek sci-fi where you've got holographic buttons and things. It's analog. It's very grinding gearish stuff. And it's a lot of fun to look at. You've got exotic locations. You've got exciting adventures. One of the stories even has a dinosaur show up in it. So it's a lot of really, really fun trips that reminded me of why I enjoyed the Jules Verne stories so much. When it comes to comics, I'm normally more of a superhero guy. Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, that kind of thing. So it's always fun to kind of step out of that for a little bit in comics and go into something that's more adventure. And this is definitely what this is. This is an adventure comic. Nemo and Anna are doing all these exploration things. They're going out looking for treasure and meeting new people. And it was a nice, different feel to it. The star of the comic obviously is Nemo, but what I like about Nemo, especially the way that the author JS Earls has written him, is he's the classic Icarus, okay? He always thinks that his intelligence is superior to any situation or person he comes into contact with. It doesn't matter what happens. There's actually a very funny part in the very first story where they're looking for a treasure. And his sister Anna says, hey, watch out, we've only got so much air left. And Nemo says, don't talk to me about how much air we have left. We'll find that in plenty of time. And the next several panels shows Nemo piloting the cephalopod around, and the timestamp is counting down. And Nemo is getting more and more frustrated as minutes go on. Then he gets so dramatic about it. It's like, I can't find it. It's nowhere. It's impossible to find. So it's just funny that Nemo constantly puts himself in this position where he's so sure of himself, and then he's constantly being humbled in that, maybe he's not as well prepared as he thinks he is. In fact, it's usually a good indicator that something unforeseen and tragic is about to happen when Nemo starts talking about how much of a genius he is. That's almost like a foreshadowing of, oh no, he just said how awesome he is. Now something bad's going to happen. It's also nice to see Anna, his older sister, she pulls double duty in that she keeps Nemo grounded for the most part. She never lets up on Nemo. Always reminds him that he's not as tough as he thinks he is. He's not as smart as he thinks he is. But she's also always there to pull him out of the pickles that he gets himself into. She's, saves him from traps and things like that. And it's really endearing to see their sibling rivalry and to see the way they rib each other. It reminds me of my relationship with my sisters. We like to make fun of each other, but when we're down and out and in trouble, we are always there for each other. So it's really, really cool to see. Just a fun, entertaining break from the world. You want to talk about things that are pure escapism. Nemo is that, and I really appreciated that. This wasn't a book that made me try to think about things. That wasn't psychoanalyzing society. There wasn't some key truth or key message I was trying to pull out of it. It was just fun. Pure, unadulterated fun. And so few things are like that nowadays. So it was really just an absolute pleasure to read. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then when we come back, I'll talk about some very specific and special details about Nemo the Lad. So stay tuned.
I'm the kaiju guy now thanks to the Monster Island Film Vault, but before that I was the superhero guy. I wonder if there's a way I could combine those.
Hey, Nathan.
Travis from Kaiju Weekly?
Yeah, I'm here because I need a co-host for a new Toku Heroes podcast.
Oh? What's it called?
Henshin! Standing by. Complete.
That's right, heroes. We are the Henshin Men, a tokusatsu superheroes appreciation podcast.
Join us as we watch several episodes of a TV series from the wide world of Henshin heroes and discuss their merits and cultural significance.
Starting with one of my all-time favorites, the original Kamen Rider from 1971.
We'll give out awards for things like the best action scenes and crazy what the Henshin moments.
So hear us every Monday in your favorite podcatcher to get your weekly Rider kicks.
Gotta go, because we only have a minute to Henshin it.
Welcome back to B's Views and Reviews, where we are talking about Nemo the Lad, written by JS Earls. As I said before the break, Nemo the Lad is an anthology of stories inspired by Jules Verne. And y'all forgive my squeaky chair. And what's really cool about Nemo the Lad is that it actually hasn't been published yet. It's being crowdfunded through Kickstarter by the author JS Earls. Now, J.S. Earls is the mind behind works such as The Meg, Ted Decker's Lost Books, Tokyo Pop's Z Manga Bible, and Pistol Fist. He's also the writer and co-creator for Supersonic Pod Comics, the podcast that has a shared superhero universe. He's writing for that. You may recognize him as one of the voices on Playing Games with Strangers, the D&D podcast. The guy, he's got a finger in every jar. He does it all. But this is one of his projects that he's written, and he is currently crowdfunding it through Kickstarter. The campaign started on September 3rd, and it's only going to be going for 2 weeks. So at the time of this recording, it's only been going on a day, but it's only got 2 weeks left. The campaign has varying levels of donations that you can give to it, but one of the things I thought was really cool and I thought was really unique about this particular book is if you pledge $30 or higher towards the creation of this comic book, you get to name your own island on Nemo's back cover map. On the back of the comic book, there's going to be a map of all the places that Nemo is trying to visit. And if you donate $30 or higher towards publishing this comic, you get to name one of those islands. And I thought that's really, really cool because, I've supported comics on Kickstarters before, and it's cool. You get your little name on a list at the back of the page. Oh, look, I helped do this. And yeah, that's okay. That's fun. But J.S. Earls, in his genius, has come up with this idea of you can actually be part of the story. You don't just get your name put on some list somewhere. You actually get to help create the story by naming one of the islands that Nemo has on his map. Who knows? It might be that Nemo finds himself washing up on your specific island on one of his adventures. So I thought that was actually a very neat way to engage some of the supporters and give them a piece of ownership in the story, is that they get to name an island. So that's hopefully a good encourager for you to support it. As far as content, whether or not this is kid friendly, I mean, it is obvious this is a story that is written for kids, with kids in mind. It's funny, it's lighthearted, it's entertaining. There are dramatic moments. I mean, there is a little bit of peril. He is in a submarine after all. But even those moments are balanced with lighthearted fun and ribbing from Anna. And it's just, like I said before, it's just absolute pure escapism. It's wonderful. It's entertaining. It's just fun. And so few things in this world, especially today, are just pure fun. So if you're looking for something that'll catch your kids' interest and just give them a break from the world for a little bit, honestly, I can highly recommend Nemo the Lad. It's a great throwback to the steampunk genre, and it's just fun. Remember, Nemo the Lad is written by JS Earls with art done by several contributing artists to the anthology. If you go to the Kickstarter campaign, it has a list of them. Some of them very big names donating, giving their artwork to this story. So there's a lot of artists, but the genius behind it all is JS Earls. You can go to Kickstarter. Just go to Kickstarter.com, and in the search bar, type in Nemo the Lad. It'll take you to the page where you can make various pledges. Remember, pledges of $30 or more will allow you to name your own island in the story. So be sure and go do that. And help support this comic. There, as I said before, there are too few comics out there that are just this fun and this positive and this just exciting to read. So I'm really excited that this guy has created these, and I want to invite you and encourage you to join me in helping support him in publishing Nemo the Lad. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Be sure to follow Geek Devotions on all our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Discord, the whole 9 yards. Make sure to subscribe to us on your favorite podcast catchers and leave reviews. We'd like to hear feedback. Until then, stay devoted, peace, and love.